Hey guys, it's me, Nostalgia, and today I'm going to be reviewing the new Lil Yachty album, Let's Start Here.
A quick zoom to the moon, come on around. Baby, if you're scared of heights, just close your eyes.
Lil Yachty has always felt like mainstream trap's equivalent of an outsider artist, checking all the boxes to fit into the genre's stylistic boundaries, but always driven by his quirky personality and lackadaisical approach to music. These aspects always made him stand out as an artist among his contemporaries, but they also made him quite an honest and sometimes personable figure in a genre that is often dominated by artists that feel like complete clones of one another. However, let's be honest, his music up until now has been of questionable quality, to say the least. And even though it's been half a decade, I still can't forgive that "she sucked my dick like a cello" line. But no matter what the quality of the music was, I couldn't help but find Yachty to be a very likable figure. Whether he was rapping over the Super Mario 64 start screen or taking the walk to Poland, there was never anyone doing quite what Lil Yachty was doing. Definitely not in the mainstream trap scene. And that has remained true up until this very day, where we have just gotten a new Lil Yachty album that completely throws all trap out the window. And instead, as I'm sure a lot of people have heard, a lot of people watching this have already heard, we've gotten a psychedelic rock album. Yeah, seeing the genre tags for this album online before hearing any of it left me quite confused and with a lot of questions. And even throughout my listening experience and after hearing the album in full, that confusion never really left me. I still can't get over how surreal of a listening experience this album is from start to finish. Let's start by talking about the production on this album. Because boy is it impressive. Yachty taking some creative liberty with his sound isn't exactly out of character for him. But what is uncharacteristic is just how incredibly produced this album is. Even if we exclude all talk of genre expectation, this album is just still a complete 180 from the usual dinky and DIY sound that you come to expect from Lil Yachty. Let's Start Here is instrumentally sonic, it's psychedelic, and it's meticulously arranged from start to finish with tasteful flavors of Pink Floyd and Tame Impala throughout. And instrumentally, there's little to fault this project. However, I have to be honest, I do think that Yachty's vocal work is very hit or miss throughout. Oftentimes, I'd even go as far as to say it can be the Achilles heel of this project. While this thing is undoubtedly a completely new endeavor for Yachty, instrumentally, vocally, it's basically business as usual. You get the same old, quirky, heavily auto-tuned vocals, which a lot of the time, I think Yachty really does the best he possibly can do with his limitations as a vocalist. And he really kind of interweaves it into the dynamic of the album pretty well. Tracks like The Ride or I've Officially Lost Vision are perfect examples of that. And oftentimes in those cases, I think the imperfection of the vocals does kind of add a weird sense of psychedelia to the album. On the flip side though, I think there are some moments that sound jarring, to say the least. Look, after consecutive listens, there are a few moments that once did sound jarring, but now sound a little bit more natural to me. But admittedly, there's still moments on tracks like Pretty or Failure, which unfortunately just don't click with me, and I hate to say it, likely never will. But ultimately, I still think this is probably Yachty's best album to date. Most certainly his best since his first Lil Boat mixtape. And the risks he takes throughout, for the most part, pay off and overall make for a unique and engaging listening experience, which at times results in some truly spectacular moments, unlike anything I thought I'd ever hear from Lil Yachty. Yeah, I still can't help but feel like there are moments here where he put way too much on his plate, and I think his own limitations sometimes fail to keep up with his aspirations. Look, it's an album that I most certainly enjoyed, and I definitely recommend checking out. But despite me applauding it for its ambition and recognizing just how impressive it is in aspects, especially instrumentally, it's still one which is nevertheless, I think, flawed and just unfortunately brought down by the artist's own limitations. That being said, I'm feeling a strong 6 on this album. And please let me know what you think of this project down below. Did you love it? I know a lot of people do, and I completely understand why. Or if you didn't like it or agree with anything I said, let me know why down below. That's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Peace and love.